You know, sometimes when we build in Planet Zoo, we can get a little bit too caught up in the naturalistic side of things. While we're starting to build for these animals, trying our best to represent their natural habitats, we can often get a little bit too lost in it and sometimes create something that sometimes loses its grasp in reality. And I'm hoping that on today's episode of Zoo Heist, we could bring it back to the city zoo. We can kind of bring it back to where zoos are really located. So welcome everyone, I hope you all are having a wonderful day today. Welcome to our third episode of Zoo Heist. I am so happy you guys are enjoying this series so far. It genuinely warms my heart to see you guys start to do this along with me too. But today, we are actually in DanXG's beautiful city map template. This is one of my favorite things to load into in Planet Zoo. It's just a really awesome place to kind of pop in and kind of take some blueprints from, and even take some screenshots in too. I've been doing that a lot recently. But today, on our first really city episode of Zoo Heist, we're going to be going through here and starting to pick out some stuff that, it may assist you in terms of really setting the stage of your zoo. A lot of the times when you do build in city zoos and stuff like that, you always want a few focal points in the way background that really help to ground your zoo. And this map in particular does a really good job at that. While it does seem kind of flat right now, there's a lot of height differences and there's so much eye candy to look at in the way background. A lot of the times we refer to these as weenies within the theme park zoo realm. It essentially serves as a way for something to grab your attention and really help give you a sense of scale and a sense of purpose as to where you relate in the world. Examples of this can be found right dead ahead. These are some beautiful little skyscrapers. Now I recognize these. These are not made by Dan just yet. These are actually made by Eben, who works extremely closely with Dan. I love seeing the two of them interact, but both incredibly talented builders and both have an incredible sense of scale in terms of Planet Zoo. So today's episode, we are going to be going through this and starting to collect some city blueprints, and already we're just going to use this big old open space where a zoo is technically supposed to be, and start to bring some stuff in. So in case if you guys are not aware, this map serves as the focal point for Tropical Wings Zoo. This is one of my favorite projects that Dan has ever done. And it's just really incredible just to see how he was able to create this beautiful template. And you guys are free to use this as well. It's all up on his workshop, and I have it linked right down below for you guys to actually check out when you do get the chance to. It's an incredibly useful thing to use, and I just really hope you guys make the most out of it. So we're just going to go through here and start to steal some blueprints. Maybe we could pop back into Foxborough or something and start to use these as we see fit. But essentially what we're going to be looking for are a bunch of city blueprints, are a bunch of street blueprints. And we're already starting off with some beautiful buildings over here. I really do love the style of these. They just look incredible, and I can't wait to start to play around with this a little bit more. I did notice that we kind of did have a little bit of a straggler, but it looks like we don't anymore, so that's actually pretty good. But no, this is essentially what we're going to be working on today, is just going through here and taking some beautiful little city buildings, because listen, when you do build in a city zoo, you always want to make sure that the city comes first. You always want to make sure that you have a grounding in history. You always want to give your buildings a little bit more of a sense of purpose and a sense of scale. And that's exactly what I love about Tropical Wings in particular, is that no matter how not realistic, but no matter how immersive, that's a better word right there. No matter how immersive some of the stuff can be inside that zoo, it really is incredible just to see how well Dan is able to capture just what makes me fall in love with city zoos even more. It's just an incredible medium of zoo building that I just always love to see come into play. And if you guys have not already, opened new tab and checked out his series, I really suggest you guys do. It really is incredible just to see how far he's come with all of that stuff. But making our way throughout here and stealing some smaller buildings as well. This is entirely based off of kind of like British architecture, so probably not the most useful if you're trying to build like, you know, American houses and stuff like that, but still as a whole, I think it works incredibly well. I'm gonna keep this kind of like that just so that you can kind of blueprint it up and kind of just, you know, keep on repeating it over itself. But no, I really do like this. I love these buildings as well. Like, even the simple buildings, like, this is incredibly easy to build for yourself. But seeing, like, the lengths that Dan was able to go with, like, you know, merging these in a little bit more and kind of keeping these bumped out a little bit more than the others, it's just really cool just to see all the small details come into play for something that really has no use other than, you know, to be a focal point. But I love to see that. So we're just going to keep making our way down the streets right here. And already I want to steal some of these. These are some incredible fences that, while they are very simple, it's always just very great to have like this stuff on lock. And I believe, oh my gosh, he even labeled it all. Isn't that great? I believe these are pieces as well. Yes, that's what I was trying to say. So I think if we just do that and we move this out a little bit more, we could actually have our first fence blueprint. And that's pretty dang good right there. So essentially what you would do for pieces like that, what I tend to do for using fences, I like to keep one post on one side and keep the other one postless, so that you could just duplicate it on one side, and even if you do need to start making turns, you can do that and you won't have like the fences overlapping each other. If you really want to get into the nitty-gritty and just kind of start to do minor details, you can kind of like turn this a little bit more so that it's kind of like in the middle point between the few. But we're just going to keep it like that for organizational purposes. But this is absolutely incredible over here. I love the smaller buildings too. I think they're the cutest little things ever. Even if you're building in what's relatively a small town, it's always great to kind of just have buildings like this, just to give a little bit more of a sense of purpose, and even start to build up the lore of the zoo that you're kind of building in. I love the fact that these are like, oh my gosh, it looks like their little son. That's adorable. But moving on throughout here, I'm not going to take everything that comes up, like these in particular. I'm kind of just doing this at my own pace, kind of just figuring out what works for me the most, and kind of just playing around with it. So I think I'm going to actually steal some of these, and I think I should be able to ungroup these, and we're just going to regroup everything all together. And I think that works out pretty good. So essentially, what we have again is another modular set where we could just kind of duplicate it over itself. So I'm gonna steal that and bring it all the way back over here. And yeah, my favorite thing about this map in particular is how many different things are going on in it. It's a beautiful park map, and essentially the way that you use it, you kind of use this area for your zoo, and you can even expand out to here and maybe even over the canal a little bit. It's just very amazing. The series is 30 episodes long. I really suggest you guys watch it because it's incredible just to see like the lore and like, you know, just the lore in general of how Dan was able to capture just like, you know, how his zoo is developed over time and stuff like that. It's really cool. I love these greenhouses, by the way. I think I want to use these in like, you know, Hope Island. These are incredibly beautiful. Yeah, that's gorgeous right there. I don't know how he does it, but he does it so well. I also love the little sapling nurseries over here. I'm not going to blueprint those up, but they are adorable. What I will blueprint up are these little planter boxes. I really love this. Dan, you gotta make a gardening set, because you have such a keen eye for all that jazz. I also love this little building over here. Oh my gosh, I'm totally stealing this. Does that link up everything that I need? Uh-oh, it's lagging. That's never a really good sign. Oh no, it took out everything. That's great. We gotta kind of break up the blueprints. Again, this is another little thing that I try and bring up with Zoo Heist. Whenever you do kind of like bring stuff out, you always got to make sure that you're kind of taking out the stuff that really matters to your, like, wherever you're taking stuff out of. So in this case, I'll only take out, like, you know, the molding, not the molding, but the actual curbs from over here. I'll kind of do all that jazz. And I think if we just take all that out, we're not really linking up with anything else. I'll even take that little tree right there. I'll take these little pieces. Hopefully that all works out nice, and we could just plop that out. It looks like we have a little bit of leftover pieces over there, so we're actually going to take those as well. But yeah, there we go. I think that's a little bit of a staff building. I think that looks pretty cute as well. You guys can probably find a really good use out of that. Just like my favorite thing in here is just all the small tiny little details. It makes me so happy, especially like walking through here. I love how he was able, okay, that's a new hack right there. That is incredible, using like the hedges as grass. Oh my gosh, big brain move right there. I also love all the stuff he was able to do with like all the street lines and stuff. I'm not going to be taking any of like the street lines or like any of that jazz, just because it's more so something that you can't really build off of, taking blueprints out. It's something that really needs to flow organically with your park. But I kind of like this statue. Oh my gosh, it reminds me of Epcot. So we're going to yoink that right over there. But no, like, this is what I'm talking about. There is so much stuff behind every single corner. Did he use gravel for that? That's insane. That's gorgeous right there. I love the little gardenings. I also love this. It's so simple, but I'm gonna steal it. I just love that. So we're just gonna plop that right there. What else do we have? Dan, what have you hooked up with us? I love these. Okay, yeah. I love these little sheds. That's incredible. Just really useful tiny buildings that, like, I don't know, it's just really awesome to see that come into play. I love this building over here. It's just very, I don't know, very industrial, kind of utilitarian. Love the use of the bricks in there. I gotta see how I could blueprint that. Maybe I can't. Oh well. I'm not too concerned with that one. But what I do love is this church right here. And you know what? Sure, we could just plop that up. Right? Why not, you know? This is gorgeous, though. I think Dan made this all on his own, which is just, it goes to show just how amazing of a builder he is. And of course, you know what? I love this. Okay, listen, let's talk about church architecture, because I genuinely love it. It's like so gorgeous. Wow. I spent some time over in Europe and Africa, and this is like exactly kind of like the kind of churches that would be like local to my areas. And it's just so insane to see. I don't know. I really do love it. Absolutely gorgeous. What else do we have around here? But yeah, as I was saying before, these are Eben's blueprints, but I think Dan actually took the extra mile and kind of built them on top of each other so that they would be completely like 3D, which I love. I love this little school too. I don't know if this is a school or not, but it's very adorable. Actually, no, I think it's kind of like a strip mall or something. That's cute. I also love the bus stops, which are lacking my entire game, so I gotta split that up. You see, this is one of my favorite things when it comes to this. It's just always like the trying figuring out what works and what doesn't. But like, you see that parking lot? That's exactly what I'm talking about, where, you know, the parking lines, it's very much like a it's very much like an individual experience. You kind of have to do it on your own just to figure out how you're able to do it. So we're just gonna plop that right here. I also love, okay, hear me out. I love how everything is on a grid, so everything kind of matches up more or less with the however you say it. Oh my gosh, is this a custom boat? Yep. Okay, we're stealing that. How everything kind of matches up with, like, you know, the angle snap tool and whatnot. I love that boat. I'm using that on Hope Island, no doubt. What do we have over here? I love these. Oh my gosh, we gotta steal, like, this entire boat set. This is gorgeous. Alright, yeah. We're stealing all of these. No questions about it. We're taking, like, every single one of these. Okay, that's awesome right there. And hopefully that... Okay, cool. It's all one piece. This is going to be wicked awesome for, like, you know, decorating Hope Island and stuff. I'm already starting to think of stuff that, like, you know, I'm going to start using all this for. Also, let me know what you guys are using all these pieces for. Let me know if you guys are in here with me. And tell me if you guys are kind of doing the same thing alongside me. Because I love to see you guys kind of, like, do all that jazz. I love to see that you guys are kind of playing around. And I want to know especially what you guys are, like, stealing from over here. I love that little, like, tower thing. I don't really know what you call that. But yeah, this is a beautiful little dockside house. I especially love it when I select all the pieces that I want to be selected as well. Ooh, I kind of love that dichotomy between, like, you know, the different pieces in there. That's awesome. Well, I think I can kind of do. And this is another thing when it comes to, like, the zoo heist. You kind of gotta play it smart with, like, all the pieces that you select and kind of, like, get yourself into different angles to kind of try and reach different things. Especially when you're trying to, like, you know, select kind of stuff on the roof. You can kind of, like, wedge yourself underneath builds and whatnot in order to do that jazz. But that's incredible right there. Look at all that jazz. Look at this. Is this another church? This is literally another church. Guys, I was literally just saying I love church architecture. That is gorgeous right there. I also love all the details in here. I love this little canal. This is insane to see. I love, like, you know, this. I don't love how it's murky green, though. This is a beautiful city. It should be, like, crystal. Actually, no. I don't like seeing the rock down there. It should be azure. Look at that. Now it's gorgeous. That's some blue-ass water right there. What do we have over here? Is it just a sign? Yeah, that was for, like, the blueprints that you had. Not blueprints, but you guys know what I mean. I also love this fence. I'm going to try and link this up and try and make a modular set out of this. I don't want it to be too big, though. I think if we just end it right there, it should be good. Maybe not. Okay. How far can we go? Okay. That's a little bit... What if we... Oh, right there. That's fine. Yeah, that's perfect. Oh my gosh, look at us go. Alright, so that's another fence. I love to see all this come into play. But yeah, I think we're starting to get ourselves a nice little collection over here. I really do love to see it. Trying to see what else we could probably snag from in here, but this might have been one of the quicker episodes of Zoo Heist. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. We've kind of scoured a good chunk of it, you know. Obviously, there's so much more for you guys to check out in here. So I always do suggest you guys check out the workshop link in the comments down below. Not the comments, but rather the description. But yeah, that's about it, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Before we adjourn, though, I love this. This is incredible. We're just gonna steal that because that is so cute. Yeah, I love that little slide. It's so cute. Oh my gosh. Trying to think of what else we could snag from in here. But no, I think that is pretty much it. After we kind of take all this jazz, look at all this. Alright. Did I snag everything from in there? Yeah, I did. Alright. Now that we have our playpens, I'm gonna call it there, folks. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoy this series, and I hope you guys are playing along as well. Be sure to check... Let's flip all this around. I don't like it facing that way. There we go. It's in the sun now. We're all good. Alright. Thank you guys so much for watching. You guys are always a bunch of gems. Be sure to check out my good friend DanXG in the comments. Not in the comments, again, the description down below. He's an incredibly talented creator out there, easily one of my personal inspirations. So I really do hope you guys go check him out. But all that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. It's always a blast to have you guys here. And I can't wait to see you all in the next episode of Zoo Heist. Take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Bye-bye now.